Three Ontario knitters have begun working on a COVID-19 memorial blanket that is intended to honor the lives of all people who have died from the virus in Canada. The women spearheading the project are Heather Breadner, Allison Day, and Amanda Sharp. They are calling across the country for knitters to join them. We are here today with Heather Breadner. Welcome to Montreal virtually, Heather.
Thanks for having us.
You're so welcome. Now, on your new website, you are urging knitters to join them in creating the memorial to more than 8,000 people. That was yesterday. Each square in the blanket will be representing one life lost. Sadly, as of today, our work as knitters has increased. Tell me what's going on.
It has, as of last night, tragically, the numbers hit 10,001. So as knitters, when we first launched the project, the original number was 8,811 squares that were needed for the project. Obviously, as time's gone on since we launched the project, those numbers have tragically increased. So the goal of the blanket is we don't want a single soul in Canada left behind. We don't want to, like, the blanket will continue to grow until it no longer needs to grow. So at this point, we're calling more knitters. We're reaching out to more knitters because clearly our work has increased. We need more squares. We need to, make sure that this memorial is created to represent those Canadian souls that we've lost during the pandemic.
The idea here is to have an art installation once we are complete.
Yes. So the goal of the blanket is it's going to be a large art installation. It's going to be, at this point, just over half the size of a football field. It's going to weigh just over 1,600 pounds at this point, which is fairly hefty. Each square will have the person who's passed away, their name on it, and the province that they're from. The blanket is going to go on a cross-country tour. It's going to visit every province and territory once it's safe to do so. Originally, we had set a tentative date of the end of January for the first unveiling. That obviously, that was tentative then, and now it's pretty clear with what's going on that that's not going to be possible. So that's going to be delayed a bit, which allows us to extend our deadline to be able to get more squares to be able to actually accomplish what we need to get done.
Okay, so now I see it's tragic that we're doing this. Let's note that, and I feel for the families that we're doing this for.
It's so tragic.
It's extremely tragic, and I love that the knitters are pulling together, and I believe this will get done. I have a knitting group called Knitting Neighbors on Facebook, and we're gonna reach out to them. What I need to clarify is, how do people get involved? Will you be giving out the name? Do we embroider the name across the square? How does it work?
So the way that it's working is if the knitters go to our website, it's www.covid19memorialblanket.ca. There's a little tab at the top that for knitters to register. All of the FAQs, the blanket pattern, what yarn to use, all of that information is there. When the square is complete, it's just a plain square. This is one in progress. Okay. So it's just got a gartered edge and some stockinette stitch. Really simple. Beginner knitters can participate, advanced knitters.
Okay.
It's 60 stitches. It's a 12 by 12 square. When it's done, pop it in the mail. And then we're having name cards, name placards made to attach to each square. Okay. Because another component of this is that we want to be very mindful of the family's wishes. So for us, if someone doesn't want to share that they've lost a loved one to COVID, then we'll just put, the province name. Okay. And we want to make sure that, because everybody deals with their own family grief in their own way, we want to be very mindful of different different cultures, different ways that we celebrate those kind of things. So part of the other component of how this is working is we're really asking the families to also register on the website, because it allows them to add stories, to add photographs, which will be included in the memorial book, which will travel with the blanket as well.
Okay.
So it's another way that they can share if they wish, and if they don't, those wishes will be respected as well.
I understand. That's
And
very well thought out.
And the one other add-on to this project that we felt was very important. We understand that COVID obviously has impacted a multitude of facets, be it small businesses, people have lost their jobs, all of those things. So we wanted to make sure that everyone who wants to participate can participate. So crocheters can participate because we're making lap gans or like small individual blankets for homeless shelters, for long-term care facilities, for other agencies that have equally been impacted, and it can just be done with stash yarn out of your stash. So as long as it's a 12 by 12 square, let your creativity fly in that part.
Okay. And then you get the 12 by 12 squares. You're gonna take the ones that don't fit. You're gonna make them into Afghans.
Yeah, and then they'll get distributed to various agencies, indigenous communities, that sort of thing, where people who need them, who've been impacted. Because part of what I really like, and this is just a personal sort of view on life, is I feel that it could provide some solace to the family knowing that during this process, someone else was provided comfort in memory of their loved one, because all of these crafters joined together and created something. And so those lap gans that are providing comfort to someone in a homeless shelter or in a women's shelter or at any of the long-term care facilities, I feel like that can bring a little bit of healing, maybe. I hope.
I think like when I do a food drive, we get together, we're bringing something together. It makes me feel good as much as it hopefully makes the other person feel good. Like, I feel like I'm doing something. I'm not just idly standing by, and the other person is I feel like we're acknowledging those families that seem to be forgotten. I mean, to be honest with you, even as a reporter, we focus so much on the healthcare workers. God love them. They're killing themselves out there, but we don't even really recognize the number. We're so fixated on how many cases. I almost didn't even acknowledge in my head that there's actual human beings on the other side of these numbers.
And that's the biggest drive for the blanket itself. Very, very similar to the AIDS memorial quilt, where it's like a human is attached to that square.
Right. We're humanizing.
The gravity, the size, the weight of that grief is represented in one large project where it becomes a visual, and those people that we've lost aren't just a number anymore.
Right.
They're a human. They're a mom, they're a daughter, they're a dad, they're a brother, they're a best friend, they're a partner, they're all of those things that are so important. And when they're not sitting at a kitchen table anymore, how does that not break your heart? And to do that on your own without knowing that anyone is thinking about you because you couldn't have a celebration of life, that's what we hope to bring, even an ounce of peace to those families.
I see it. It makes total sense, and I love it, and I love you for thinking of it.
It's well, I appreciate that. I hope we can do these families justice. That's the biggest thing. We want to be very mindful, we want to be very respectful, we want to be very conscientious of everyone's beliefs, and we want to also represent our country, that our country can join together as one group of crafters and do something positive in a time that is so uncertain and is so pear-shaped and sideways that nobody can make heads or tails of what's going on, that as a human being, we all need to kind of like pull together. We need to join forces, and we need to do as much as we can together with whatever capacity we have. And every single tiny act of kindness is all it takes.
It does. It's a rippling effect that typical of Canadians. I want to thank
Yes.
you, Heather, for coming out today, or for staying home, or for staying in the store and letting me do that. Can you just do a shout out to your store? Can we order online?
You can order online. We do encourage that if you have a local yarn shop that carries Barocco vintage, to check out your own local yarn shop first, because that's also a component of it. We wanted to encourage people to explore their own local yarn shops, because Michael's and Walmart, they're going to be okay. It's the small local guys that aren't. So if your local one doesn't, yes, absolutely, you can order it online. It's www.aberdeenswool.ca. We have all the colors in stock. We do actually have one color as well that we set aside for frontline and essential workers. It's called Aqua. It's color number 5125. We're using that, like, any color is okay, but that color is specifically representative of frontline and essential workers.
Okay, all of this will be listed on the West Island blog website. I will be posting this to Facebook. Please join our Knitting Neighbors group on Facebook. We have all the information there as well. Your pattern is literally outlined in my article on your new website. Yeah, I've got it all. I've got this part figured out. On the new website, your contributions, the address is there. Everything that you need is in the text below this this video. We're looking for 10,000 squares. People, get on it. Let's get that color. I know that color is available. There are West Island and Montreal knitting stores that have it. I'm calling out to Barocco. How do you say the name, Barocco?
Barocco.
Barocco. I would like to reach out to Barocco and ask them to donate to the cause somehow. Maybe give a discount on the wool. I don't know. Let's get Barocco involved. And I'm sure
they've legitimately been the most amazing company to deal with during this process. They've been stunningly amazing. I can't say enough great things about what they've done in terms of the project. The only other thing, if you don't mind me adding, just for non-crafters who want to help with the project, because there's obviously a lot of other logistics, like
of course
how to ship a 2,000-pound blanket from Nunavut to Edmonton
or to Quebec. I'm coming to that one.
Yes,
I'm coming. I don't care if I wear a mask. I don't care if I wear a hazmat.
Yes, well, hopefully it'll be on tour next summer, provided it's safe. Safety is the first priority.
Of course.
For non-crafters who want to participate, we do also have a GoFundMe page.
Okay.
Because there are approximately $50,000 to $60,000 worth of costs that are involved in actually like getting this all done and together.
I believe you.
Any non-crafters who want to help participate in the project, they will also be listed in the memorial book as donors. And there's a GoFundMe link on the website as well. So,
okay, we're going to get this done. We're going to do it together.
That'll help.
It'll help. Every little bit helps. And we're Canadian.
Absolutely.
We're going to get this done. We're going to get this done. And I can see you standing there with the Prime Minister with your blanket. I can see it.
Oh, well, fingers crossed. And hopefully, big shout out to all of the knitters who have also who've participated thus far for the 5,000 squares that have already come in. Without you guys,
there's no blanket.
This wouldn't have been possible. We're on the last, we're on the, the next big push, but we're going to get there.
We are going to get there, and I'm going to help you. So we're going to help you here from Montreal.
Thank you.
A wonderful, wonderful day, and what a beautiful initiative. Thanks for doing it.
Thanks so much for having us. Take good care.
You too.
Stay safe.